Hi guys, my name is Harsha Sairedi, and today we will be looking at one of the world's most famous games. This is a game between the Duke of Brunswick and Paul Morphy. In this game, Paul Morphy plays really good and comes out with a really excellent checkmate. We should get started. So we start off this game with the common e4, e5 combination. We continue this when Murphy plays knight to f3, trying to invoke the king's knight's opening. Well, he does the king's knight's opening, but it tries to invoke the other player to bring out their knight. But Black, or the Duke of Brunswick, declines this and pushes his d pawn up 1 to d6. So then after he pushes up to d6, White goes on and attacks the pawn on e5 with the move d4. So after he does this, Black plays a pretty big mistake in this game, which is bishop to g4. After he plays this, White takes on the pawn on e5. Then Black takes the knight. Then White recaptures with the queen and takes the bishop, and then Black recaptures the pawn. Then the queen is staring at a deadly pawn on f7. It's doing a deadly attack. Well, you can prepare for deadly attack. And Murphy does this by putting his bishop on c4, pressuring the f7 pawn. So then after this, Black develops his knight and blocks the queen's route to that pawn. So then Murphy plays queen to b3, still keeping an eye on that pawn. So Black sees that this could be a problem, and Black defends that pawn with the queen, and he moves it to queen e7. So then here, White could take the pawn on b7 and potentially gain a rook, but here White chooses to develop his pieces, specifically knight c3. And then here, Black tries to attack his bishop by moving pawn up 1, the c pawn, to c6. So then here, White doesn't mind about all of that. So then the bishop on the c square, the dark squared bishop for White, goes to g5, pinning the knight to the queen. So then here, Black continues his attack on the White's white squared bishop. So then here, what White does to save his bishop is capturing the pawn with the knight. And then here, Black recaptures, and then White recaptures. And here, White has a deadly attack. And then here, Black blocks the king check with knight to d7. So then White responds to that by castling and putting pressure on the knight because it can't move since it's pinned. So then here, Black, trying to defend the knight, puts his rook to d8. So then White here, he takes the knight with his rook, which may seem like a bad move, but once Black recaptures, his rook is pinned. And if White really wanted to make that an equal trade, he can just take. So then here, well, also the knight can't recapture since the bishop is pinning it to the queen. So then here, White puts more pressure on the Black's rook, since Black's rook is pinned with rook to d1. So then Black responds to this by moving his queen out of check to e6. So then after Black moves to e6, White takes the rook with the bishop. And then here, since the queen is not pinned, Black takes the bishop back with the knight. So then here, White plays the amazing move, queen sacrifice, to b8. So then after he plays b8, black has no other choice but to take. Since the king can't move anywhere, nothing can block it since of earlier move of moving the queen back. And so the knight has to take. So after he takes, white makes the historic checkmate of rook to d8. Checkmate. You have just learned one of the best chess games in all of chess history. Though this is not my favorite, this is truly an amazing game. Now have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time.